Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our webinar series for special need children families and guiding them on their financial aspects and the estate planning related issues. So, today we have with us Mr. Jitendra Solanki, who is a founder of special need children families related estate planning and financial planning activities. We call it SNEP, Special Need Estate Planners. And in that, we are going to talk about different stages through which parents of special need child has to go through. And they are obviously related very tightly to the special need children child's life stages as well. So, welcome back to the sessions. And I'm Shilpa Wagh, host of the show. And I'm from Mumbai. Jitendra is in Ghaziabad. So let's begin, Jitendra. Are you ready to take on the questions?
Yeah, surely. We can begin now.
So we have always been mentioning the main thing that we have whenever we talk to any parent is what life stage. The first question we try to understand is what life stage the child is when we talk about the financial aspects or estate planning aspect. So for those who are joining us new and they have not attended our earlier sessions, can we just discuss the overall life stages of the special need child and the parents related to that, right from the birth of the child till the time the child survives.
Yes, so these are important because what we are talking today is transitional stages. The stages where parents, generally feel a bit of pressure because there is a lot of, things to do and things are changing. So not personally also, but financially also, and that's why the preparation is required. Now, if you look at the life stages of a special need child, the way we have defined, there are 4 or 5 life stages which a family of a special child will go through. The first one is generally it's the minority of the child. The when the child is born up to 3 years of age. Now that is basically a stage where the parents are more emotionally trying to get into a acceptance of the disability of the child. So not much is there in that except that the emotionally they have to accept it and and then move ahead. Now once the child is 3 or 4 years of age, until the child turns reaches to an adult phase, this is the minority of the child. So the child, the parents will be going through a lot of medical issues, a lot of the therapies for the child, and all other aspects which they they have to implement because of the disability of the child. So and one of the most important aspect during these phases is the expenses for the child, because in normal circumstances the child education is there to spend on child education, but here the education is also there, but then the medical issues are also there, where the parents have to go for therapies, had go for other aspects where the expenses are additional to in general what they spend. So the minority of the child is generally spent on all these aspects. Now then there is a life stage where the child moves from a minority to an adult phase. Probably the 15 to 22 years of age is a stage where the transition is happening. So the lot of changes are happening in the behavior of the child. The parents had to rework all the aspects. He might not require those therapies. The parents may have to move to vocational courses, and the care has to be changed now, as we have discussed in our previous webinars, that how
Yeah.
this care will change. So this is one phase where the parents will go through. Then the other phase is the adult phase of the child, where again there can be two situations: one where the child is living at home, and the other when the child living into an external environment. That is, the child may be shifted to an organization providing a residential care. Both of these will have their own challenges, and both of these the parents will have to address different issues. The next stage comes the retirement. Now again, when parents are retiring, so they have to be prepared for, they have to prepare for two purposes. from where the child care will also be taken care of, and their own living expenses will also be taken care of. And then they have to also decide on the child residential needs, because they are moving towards the later stages of their life. And then the stage come is the first parent death. That's where the responsibility moves to the other parent. Now there the challenges come up, that if it's the parent has not been working throughout like a housewife, then she will be dependent on the assets what are accumulated, and there will be a lot of responsibility on her, adjusting with all these, making child adaptable to the situation. So all these issues will arise. And then the second parent death. Now that's where the care of the child will move completely either to the legal guardian or to the trust. And all the expenses, all the care will be managed by the professionals, rather than the any of the parents moving managing it. So the cost may increase at this point of time now. So these are, and then the child lifetime. So end of child lifetime, the assets has to be distributed to the legal heirs or the way parents wish to. So these are generally the child life stages, which parents have to understand and parents have to know, because some of these are transitional stages, where one stage to another state the child is transitioning, and that's where a lot of changes are happening personally also, and plus they are going to impact financially also, and that's where parent have to plan for these transitional stages.
Yes, so when we speak about these different life stages of the child, let us start from the stage one, where the child is now diagnosed with some kind of disability. Now, in this stage, till the time the child becomes, say, 15, 16 years of age, normally this is the time when lot of transition, the maximum transition which is happening, because from a normal family, the transition to a family who is taking care of the special needs child is not only on the financial aspect only. Actually, mainly it is from the emotional side of it. The lifestyle, the entire lifestyle can undergo a change. So many a times, all the parents that we have seen, they normally go from the denial phase to the acceptance phase, and longer the period of this denial to the acceptance, more challenges the parents per se can face. So in this process, we have also seen, unfortunately, some of the parents, getting separated, some of the parents finding it challenging to stay with the family, and so they take more and more of a job which is, travel oriented. It is nothing but to this is a coping mechanism which they have found to deal with the life situation. Now in this stage, all these aspects will get impacted on financial terms. So how do you think one should start getting ready to, because the topic here is not emotional or psychological, but it is more from the financial and the futuristic perspective. So let us restrict our discussion to finances. So in such a turmoil of emotions, and then there is the financial aspects, there are medical aspects, so many therapists coming in. How does one parent still maintain, to be together and fight with it together and be online, because there is a lot of to be done for the child for his lifetime. So how do you guide parents at this stage, the transition, how they should take care of the financial transition?
Yes, financially there's going to be a transition, because the parents have been living a lifestyle and they have been managing their finances in a certain we call it the certain lifestyle, and suddenly the lifestyle gets changed. So what parents will experience here is the change in their finances with respect to the expenses, because with a special need child, the more money is going to be spent on his care, be it therapies, be it medical care, or any other aspect. We have seen almost 30 to 40% budget of the household expenses spent on special need child. So the more expenses, the more outgo will happen. And suddenly if the parents has been saving a good amount of money, this transition will tell them that suddenly the savings is reduced, because the more money is being spent out. So and when the parents see this transition stage, it takes a lot of time to really adapt to the situation, because they are not aware about the situation of the child. They are not about of the disability, so they are not aware about what expenses might come up in the future, so they will need a lot of support. I think right from the beginning, when parents have accepted it, they have to really go for monitoring their finances in a much more frequently than they were doing it before. Because first, when they are starting up, they are not aware of what expenses are going to come up. Okay. And second, when they are moving ahead, the expenses will happen till the adult phase of the the child. So what happens is that during this phase, if they are not able to save money, then at the later years of life, they will not be left with much of the corpus. So they should go for managing the monitoring of their finances in more rigorous manner. Budgeting should be a important exercise for the parent. They should start with the moment the expenses start, and then from there they should go ahead with the financial planning process, so that they are able to manage their expenses, and they are able to manage this transition of their finances which has happened due to addition of a special need member. So they will need more rigorous monitoring of their finances now than they were doing it before.
Yes. So this is very important because earlier you start, better it will be when we actually see that the child is entering into the other stages, the advanced stages of his life. And this is the starting point. This is the foundation that you will need to do. You have other children, you have other family responsibilities and the goals to cope with. So it's a different game, and it's a difficult game, and we need to focus more on to finances right from the beginning. So when the child is now say 16, 17 years of age, and then he crosses the age of 18, many parents are still unaware that though they are their biological parents, they have to go for something called legal guardianships, and that becomes very important when the child is transiting from minority to the majority. And that is a big transition, because now by default parents cannot take a decision per se unless and until they have the legal guardianship with them. So Jitendra, can we talk a little bit more on this stage, and what all legal aspects, financial aspects, or parents are also getting older, so whether they should start thinking about the estate planning at this stage? What is your opinion about it?
Yes, this is a transition which is phase which is very important, because they have seen up till now they have managed a minor child, and once a minor moves to an adult phase, the things really change. The behavioral aspect will change, the care will change for an adult child, because now he's an adult. Okay, if, just give you an example. Till minority of child, you are able to manage in the smaller house, but the moment child moves to an adult phase, you might need to look at a readjustment of your house. Okay, similar way, once the child is moving to an adult phase, there are a lot of things will change. Yes, the legal guardianship will have to be taken up. The legal framework will have to be implemented now, because the child is an adult now. You are moving towards your retirement phase in the coming years. So probably you will also have to address, you will have to think from that perspective, who after you. Okay, all those provisions will have to be taken care of. Now within these, if you look at from the financial perspective, there is an additional expenses which is coming on the families. Okay, the care, if it is changed, the expenses might increase a bit from an adult managing an adult perspective. The legal framework, if it is implemented, there is a cost to it, hiring a professional and getting implemented all these legal framework, and plus any other cost you may end up. So the first example I gave you, you might look at changing your house, you might look at readjustment of your house. Now all these expenses, if you consider, are additional to what you are managing in your day to day life, and that's where this transition phase is bringing you an additional financial burden on you. And that's where parents have to be prepared, that these are the additional expenses which will come up from a financial planning perspective. They will have to manage these additional expenses because they cannot delay it. They have to implement the legal framework, they have to take up the legal guardianship, they might have to hire professionals for all that. They should be ready with identifying the cost of their special need care, so might have to hire a financial planning professional, might have to hire a legal professional. If they want to buy another house, for managing their adult special child affairs, they will have to spend money on that. So all these additional financial aspect they will have to manage, and that's where we are discussing this, that transition phases is going to bring additional cost for the families, and that's where they have to prepare well for.
So in brief, can you just tell them, you mentioned about legal framework. So what exactly you mean by legal framework? If in brief you can talk about
Yeah.
it.
So legal framework means, one is legal guardianship, because you have to be the legal guardian. Second, appointing somebody who is going to be after you the legal guardian for your child. Then bringing up the private trust framework, who will manage the financial affairs in your absence or after your lifetime till the child lifetime. And and other legal aspect, like drafting a living will in difficult situations. So this legal framework, a will, a trust, and legal guardianship is the primary legal framework which you look at now. So this is the legal framework which you will have to build now, and where you will have to spend money on setting up this legal framework.
Okay, so let's move ahead now. Now we have seen that from minority, the transition has to happen and it has to be handled because that becomes the foundation for all the later stages of the special need child. As the child is moving from minority to majority, mainly the legal framework is actually getting implemented. As mentioned by Jitendra, it is the legal guardianship for you yourself, the legal guardianship, and you have to identify the person who will be that person after you, who will become the legal guardian of your child. And if you have kept money aside and you want a trust to be formed, or how you want the money to be utilized for your benefit of your child, that has to be laid down very clearly. Now we have mentioned about many different expenses, okay, and many times it so happens that the expenses become much more than what we can really get into individually, or it is not possible for parents because of the health or the age to take care of the child at home. So the next phase which comes in the life of the special need child is sometimes the child has to shift from the home care to the institutionalization. Jitendra, can this be again a transitional phase in the parent's life?
Yes, it will be a transitional phase, because from the financial perspective, again you are looking at some additional expenses. Why I'm saying is because from our experience, if you have to shift child to have to another residential care, you have to spend money on that, right? There might be an upfront payment to the residential care, then month on month expenses will come up. Now when you are shifting child to a residential care, whether it's in the same city or another city, if it's in another city, then additional expenses of traveling to that city on a regular period will come to you, right? The expenses of childcare might remain the same, but the additional expenses will come to you in the form that you might have to travel frequently. So this is also a transitional phase where certain expenses are adding to your bucket, and you have to prepare for that your expenses again might increase, from what you're managing from the last maybe 10 years, because you might have to travel, you might have to spend more money on traveling, or any other expense which might come up because the child is living in another city. Sometimes parents also relocate to another city because of the adaptability of the situation. The child is not able to adapt or to make him comfortable, you might have to live in the same city for certain time or have to travel frequently. So this is a transition phase, where again you will see certain expenses adding up to you, to your kitty, and that's where you have to manage those expenses from the same income what you are drawing now.
So that's very clear when the life stages are going one after the other. We have been discussing till the institutional help which is required. But life is not such a straight line, and it is always a roller coaster, and suddenly some unexpected events keep triggering in everybody's life. So 2020 is full of such instances that we never thought that such
Yes.
thing will happen in our life. So now let us come to some unexpected, unplanned events that are happening. As I mentioned, we have seen in certain cases where the parents are not able to cope with the acceptance of the fact that the child is special need, and it can affect their own personal marital life, and people may end up getting separated or divorced. Now that again is a transition, big transition in the life of the parents. So, any suggestions, any thought process about the financial legal aspects and how one can actually go through this difficult phase?
Yes, getting into divorce is again a big transitional, stage where parents will have to go through, and parents will have to, really prepare for. Because what happens is that, if you are going for divorce, yes, the child adaptability will be a question, that, where the child will stay. As of now, it is staying with both the parents, but the situation comes in, if the divorce happens tomorrow, if he is going to be, he might be shifted to, any residential care, or will be, staying with one of the parents, not staying with both the parents. That situation will comes in. But divorce also, bring in the financial burden on both the parents, I will say. uh if you look at the situation, then, the alumni is also be, paid when the divorce is happening. And who is going to care for the special need child? How will the funds be provided? The formation of the trust will happen. Now the funds have to move to the trust. So even if there is an immovable property, the property has to move to the trust, because the parents are separated now, and whatever they are leaving behind for their special need child, they would like to move to a trust, and let the trust manage it, instead of one parents, managing the affairs. Now if that happens, and if there are immovable properties involved, there is a cost involved in that. The trust setting up, the transfer of the immovable properties, all these are a cost which will be incurred during these stages. Not talking about the emotional aspect, which will we have to dealt with, for both the parents and for the child. But the financial implications are much, higher in the case of divorce situation. And that's where, if this unexpected event occurs, the parents will have to, really thought sit together. They will have to really, think about it. How will the care of special needs child happen now, because they are being separated? If one of the parents, did get remarried, is the child going to stay with him or her, or is the child going to be shifted into residential care, or if he's going to stay with the mother, how the father is going to be in touch with them? So all these things have to be managed on the emotional side. But as I said, the financial implications are much heavy. There is an alumni involved, we all know, in a divorce situation. But that is, for a special need child, there are expenses beyond that also. So now whatever assets, if one of the parents is working, whatever assets he have accumulated, now he will have to really think that, should I move the asset to the trust now, and form a trust, and let the, assets be managed by the trust. So all these thinking, or all these ways and means during the situation of a divorce, will incur a financial cost, and you have to prepare for, to incur these financial costs. So if I just talk about trust preparation, if I just talk about setting up the framework, if I talk about, shifting a immovable property to the trust now, it might incur another 4 to 5 lakh of cost, if the property itself is around 30 to 50 lakhs. So we are looking at that cost, apart from whatever cost generally, is incurred when parents are getting a divorce. So all these uh, cost which is coming in during this time, you have to prepare to take this burden, on yourself. And who is going to incur that cost? So is if both the parents are working, who is going to incur that cost? It is going to be incurred equally, or one of the parents is going to incur that cost if both parents have accumulated assets. So this is a transition phase where a lot of thinking would be required. Parents will have to really think from their heart, that how this thing should be set up, and how this financials will be managed.
So, in this stage, when the parents are deciding that they should get separated out, that's going to be a lot of transition from the parents' perspective as well as from the child's perspective. because both parents have the right to decide if they have really decided that they want to walk their path differently. And what will happen to the child care is the primary importance question which comes in the picture. And whatever legal framework that we were talking about may have to get triggered much earlier than what was expected. And it is always better that a professional help is taken so that the financial and the legal aspects, which are very important, are taken care and the child is taken care at the end of it. Something similar situation may arise, unfortunately, if there is a sudden death of one of the parents. What can be done in this case, Jitendra?
So if now it will depend on the surviving the situation of the surviving parent. Now if suppose from both the parents the husband is earning and he dies, now the responsibility come on the housewife because she has not been working throughout. So it's going to be a challenging for her because she will have to manage the financial affairs from whatever her husband has accumulated asset and have left behind. Now if they are not good enough, then the challenge is going to how to really provide for that care. And if she, because of that, if she start working, then suddenly working at this stage probably is going to be a bigger challenge. So challenging would be there from as I said, if it is more on housewife. Now if the surviving parent is the earning member, then for him or her the challenge would be in readjusting the life. The child have been managed by the housewife throughout, and she is not there tomorrow. Suddenly the responsibility of managing the child 24/7 comes on the husband. He will have to make an adjustment. He will have to give more time to the child now, so a work life balance will get readjusted. Yes, the cost of care will certainly increase because what was being managed by the housewife will be managed by the professionals now. Okay, but this work life adjustment and the child adaptability, he also might face challenges in working with this situation. So either of the parent dies, for the surviving parents, apart from what challenges they face personally, the financial is going to play a big role, because for housewife it is going to be more on whatever is left behind by the earning husband. From a earning husband perspective, he is going to earn more, so he has time to accumulate more. Okay, but he will have to adjust his life, so it's going to be a challenging phase for both the parents.
Yes, so either way, it's going to be a challenge because it's a big transition when one parent is no more. Um, Now, the stage comes where we are earning and we are accumulating money and we are very comfortable that fine, I have that capacity to keep earning. Now, we have seen many a cases because of the additional expenses that throughout the life being incurred, uh, parents keep working. They don't retire at the age of 60. Okay, they may have to work beyond 60, so that, because we all know that the retirement corpus is going to be a huge sum, because they have to take care of their own self and the special need child. And as a result, many a times it so happens that the parent has to keep working even beyond the age of retirement, which we normally take as 58, 60. And at the same time, physically we are getting older, and because of that the jobs may change, the challenges may arise, restrictions may come. This again becomes a very big transition phase for the parents to cope with. And even at home, whoever was giving the care to the child, that lady, wife, or the child's mother, is also getting old, and because of that more and more help is required, maids are required to take care of the child. So that another transition phase, Jitendra, can we just very briefly, because we are already crossing the half an hour, this, but at least
Yeah.
some thoughts on this you can talk about.
Yes. So this is a phase, where my experience is parents really start thinking about, what's going to happen after us, and because they are getting old physically, they are getting old, they are not able to manage the care as they would have done, previously. Plus the retirement, because they are reaching to a retirement phase. Now, when the parents are reaching to a retirement phase, they are looking at managing all the expenses from whatever they have accumulated up till now, throughout their life. So from the financial perspective, it is going to be a challenge if the assets are not accumulated enough, not enough to take care of both the child affairs and both the the parents their own living expenses. Plus, it's not only about day-to-day living expenses, the health emergencies, the real old age you go through, when you are not able to manage things physically, you have to hire professionals. The child shifting, relocating to another city, and you might have to relocate in your retirement to another city because you are not able to manage the expenses, for example in metros. So all these will again involve a financial burden, and at this stage it is really difficult because whatever financial implication comes on you, it will be spent from your accumulated corpus. So the corpus get reduced, for next 25 30 years of life which you have to manage from that. So that's where the retirement planning has to be done much earlier, because you have to build a good enough corpus which can sustain the expenses also, and which can manage the financial burden which will come onto you.
Okay, so thank you so much. We are coming almost to the end of the discussion today. Very important topic, which is thought from the parents' perspective. Different transitions that they may have to go through in their life to take when they are into the taking care of the special need. So we hope that this was a very insightful and informative session to all of you. And thank you so much, Jitendra, for giving us the valuable expert comments that you have been
Thank
always sharing. So let's meet again next week with some other very important and relevant topic to all of
you.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Shilpa. See you next Saturday.
Bye.